Welcome, everybody, to the Channel Vision Magazine webinar featuring Bicom Systems, which is going to share with you the benefits of virtual and management networks and how to get these through Bicom Systems SERVERware 4.2 Virtualization Platform. I'm your host, Bruce Christian, Senior Editor of Channel Vision Magazine. Our Bicom System guests are Yasmin Mazet, Product Owner, and Patrice Bramant, Business Success Manager.
Thank you, Bruce, for this nice intro. Our agenda today is going to be about different topics that we are going to cover. My colleagues is going to dive into all the technical aspects of virtual and management networks. I will try to cover some sales and benefit for the end users and for the partners of using these very nice topics. And as Bruce mentioned, we're going to have plenty of time at the end to explain and to hear from you what would be your questions that you may have about serverware and about virtual and management networks. I'd like to start this with having some kind of a simple definition about what virtual and management networks are. Simply put, a virtual network is a way to connect computers and servers over the internet using software management. That's very simply put. And again, my colleague Yasmin is going to cover much more aspect of this. In comparison to physical network, it basically expands all network capabilities as there are no cables and computers involved. Management networks, on the other hand, is the safety aspect of virtual networks. At Bicom Systems, it secures communications in serverware between hosts and all the controllers that would be attached. I also like to highlight a few numbers about the volume that we're talking about here. The global network management systems market was estimated at $6.7 billion in 2020. And as you can see on the slide, is expected to grow to 12.2 billion by 2027. So that's nearly double the size in 7 years. So to say the least, it's going to be a crucial and a key market for any MSPs in the next decade. So I will now pass the mic on to my colleague Yasmin Mazet for technical aspects of these nice features. Yasmin?
Thank you, Patrice. So hello again from my side. And for those who join later, to briefly introduce myself, my name is Yasmin Mazet, and I'm the product owner in Bicom Systems, and I'm responsible for serverware product. So my colleague Patrice made an interesting insight regarding virtual management network, and I'm going to briefly take you through their benefits and later on how we utilize them in our product. So when we talk about virtualization, we let's call it that way, practically talk about software abstraction of physical infrastructure or physical infrastructure services. And also for better understanding, virtual networks can be easily compared to virtual machines, although there are some operational differences. Though we are talking about infrastructure abstraction, virtual networks per se come on top of the underlying physical network. And yet they are easily they easily allow network scalability. As a result, no additional networking infrastructure is required. So we have less investment in infrastructure, and in parallel, we have much less work to execute when creating new virtual networks in comparison to physical cabling, the configuration of hubs and routers, etc. Also, there is more flexibility when it comes to creating new applications. The virtual network facilitates the creation of new applications based on the microservice infrastructure. When it comes to management network and its benefits, I will briefly tackle it, but before talking about it, I must say that we cannot practically divide it from the virtual networks, and after all, you will hear it and see it later, from the serverware as a product of integrated services. Management network It's not a standardized networking system. From where we are standing, a management network is a derivative of visual networks, and its primary focus is on security, like my colleague already said. As a result, we have additional layer of security which is automatically configured. So management network, or shortly MAN as we call it, is making the most of virtual networks by creating, firstly, zero configuration VPN interface based on virtual networks technology, and secondly, reduced surface area for attackers. Okay, so let's see on the next slides how we managed to create significantly security features in serverware by introducing virtual networks. But before that, just to put all earlier mentioned into the right context, I will shortly jump on what serverware is all about. So what is actually serverware and what are the key components of the serverware? That will help us understanding how the virtual networks are included in our product. So as you can see on the slide, it is a virtualization platform with the purpose to host telephony and unified communications in the cloud, delivering a wide range of IP services and applications with high uptime, stability, and reliability. And what is important to be acquainted with for better understanding of next slides are the key components of the product, which are storage server, processing host or hosts, where virtual servers are executed, controller, and the networking devices. Also, serverware comes in three editions. The first one and the basic one is a standalone edition, which enables customers to install it on a single server. Because this edition's processing power and data storage are provided by a single server, it does not provide high availability for hosted services. And also the backup in this case is up to customers to establish. A mirror edition adds a layer of protection to your data. So to provide high availability of hosted services, two identical servers, primary and secondary, must be connected wired in a back-to-back configuration. Data are synchronized in real time between these servers from primary to secondary. And the mirror edition is comparable to the standalone edition in terms of virtual service computing capacity, as these VPSs may run exclusively on the primary server. And the last one, the most complex one, is the cluster edition. And it is comparable to mirror edition, except that includes the option to extend the processing capability of the VPSs by adding more physical hosts, so physical machines. While it is possible to run virtual service on the mirror, this is not something that we encourage to do, given the mirror pair of servers' principal job in the cluster edition is to offer fault-tolerant storage to number of processing hosts. Virtual private servers, or VPSs, running on processing hosts save their data on the storage server. So to effectively offload VPS processing from the mirror pair and use it only for storage, two or more extra hosts devoted to VPS processing must be provided during the mirror to cluster edition upgrade. But they are all here, these all additions are available to serve and fulfill different customer needs. So to back where we want to be regarding the virtual networks, serverware relies on WireGuard communication protocol to define virtual private networks, or VPNs, that are the foundation of serverware virtual networks. These networks are, by its design, encrypted, so they are providing a secure way to isolate and to protect communication between VPSs hosted on the same cluster. So serverware 4.2, our last release, provides system administrators the option to easily define additional virtual networks and to assign IP address pool. So you can see it on the screenshots on the slide. With supported IPv4 and IPv6 protocols. So they are easy to build, configurable, and manageable. So consequently, and to put it more plainly, you can build a dedicated virtual network for a domain, allowing the VPSs belonging to that domain to communicate to each other through it securely, while other VPSs belonging to other domains hosted on the same cluster will not be able to see the traffic. Since created virtual network is assigned to a dedicated domain, an administrator can now select desired VPSs and add the IP address from the subnet pool. Well, to have some use case for internal purpose, with virtual networks, we can broaden the list of available IP addresses. And for example, for the purpose of development of new features, when there is a need for multiple VPSs, and I don't know, there is a lack of available IP addresses, and this is where virtual networks come on our side. On the other side, from the customer perspective, the customers who want to distribute microservice products using numerous VPSs with secure communication can benefit using virtual networks. And for the future insights, as a teasing, VPSs will be able to securely communicate not only to VPSs on the same domain and the cluster, but also to VPSs on different clusters. So for more complex products. Okay, so serverware has utilized virtual networks among all above mentioned to boost security. Implementation of new features showed us that we need to expose serverware modules and APIs to the outside world as little as possible. The idea behind protecting serverware's functionality was clear. We must create a closed and secured implicit network. So if we bind all or most of it, the server components to this network, we will proportionally reduce the surface area for attackers and greatly improve the security aspects of serverware. So using the same logic of virtual networks, include a VPN technology and IPv6 addresses for a dynamic setup, we created a dedicated and implicit virtual network interface called Management Network, or shortly MAN, for automatically establishing secure communication between serverware core components. If you can remember, and these are the controller on one side and the host on the other side. As soon as a new host is added to a cluster, it will be automatically attached to this network. So from now on, from the serverware 4.2 release, on each host as well as the controller, there will be a dedicated, automatically configured virtual interface named MAN that will be used for secure communication between serverware components running on different hosts in the cluster. Okay, so now that we have got a little bit more familiar, I hope so, you did, with the serverware as a product and the two extremely important networking and security features, I will take you just a little of your time to shortly walk you through the rest of our product key features. So among many useful, there are several that deserve a bit more attention. First of all, serverware provides intuitive and comprehensive graphical user interface for managing key elements of the product. And these are hosts, from host to domains, and the most importantly, virtual servers or VPSs. Mandatory add-on is a system status dashboard for visual representation of serverware networks' most significant performance and status indicators. And along with real-time alerts that customers can customize based on their needs. But when it comes to security, there's a great built-in feature to provide secure access for Bicom support via the encrypted channel. So there is no need for customers to share credentials. So for access to the system to us. To accompany our high standard or high uptime and availability, we developed an outstanding data redundancy and takeover service called geo-redundancy. Many of you know it as a disaster recovery site. And beside that, there is a site availability monitoring as add-on to this redundancy system. It is a service for automatic takeover. And one of the newcomers, beside virtual networks and management network, is the DNS service record. And this is an integrated DNS server function that can act as an authoritative server for a DNS zone. So each VPS hosted on a serverware cluster will be assigned a name in the zone and can be reached using its domain name rather than its IP address. So I don't need to mention how much time is spent with this function. So this is all from my side. I hope that you enjoyed, and thank you very much for your attention and your time. I will hand over now, Mike, to Patrice.
Thank you, Yasmin. Again, as I'm not the technical guy, and Yasmin went through loads of technical, interesting details, what I like to summarize from what you saw, from what he presented, is basically three key benefits that I can see. The first one, the first benefit for our partners of the virtual networks is obviously the cost efficiency and the increased productivity by using the system, as you can expand network capabilities by software management and not hardware investments, obviously. Another benefit that I can see, which is non-financial actually, would be the mentioned that it's a much more secure communication system that you have now by using this, as all connections between the VPSs are perfectly secure within serverware. And that's a big, big advantage, as we all can see increases in the risk in telecoms. But beyond those two first benefits, I would like to say that basically serverware is providing some kind of a peace of mind for any ITSPs or any MSPs or partners by using geo-redundancy, which is the best way to secure the continuity of your business by providing a back-to-back system and setup that will help our customers to guarantee 99.99% of continuity of business and secure telecommunications to their customers, the end users. So that would be the three key benefits that I can see from serverware 4.2 and all the features that Yasmin presented. So you can reach out to Bicom Systems by just basically sending us an email at sales@bicomsystems.com, or alternatively an email to myself at business-success@bicomsystems.com. and we would be happy to lead you through a presentation of our product and put you in contact with our sales team.
Okay, great. Thank you, Patrice. Let's get to a few questions now. First, can you talk to us a little bit about the redundancy systems themselves? I know you mentioned that you have geo redundancy for the serverware 4.2, but can you tell us a little bit more about the redundancy systems?
But what I can say on the sales side is that it's a new feature that we released in July 2021, so it's not even a year ago. So it's really a feature that's been very well accepted by our customers. That's been asked for a while ago, again, to ensure the continuity of their business. Maybe Yasmin, you can add some comments on the technical side here.
Yeah, just to pull all together regarding the redundancy. So there is something that I hope our audience could see on when I explain the additions we have. So on the mirror and the cluster additions, we established the secondary site, and this is the data redundancy site, which is precisely the first thing that we are recommending, those two additions. After that, geo redundancy came as a geolocation, so to have the other site on totally different geographical location, just in case of anything being that can affect the primary location. But to really push the real geo redundancy and the real benefit of it, the site monitoring to automation takeover is established in order to, like Patrice already said, to really give a customer peace of mind, since it is possible to create automatic takeover based on some actions in order to have a system up and ready, even though the sys administrators are, I don't know, sleeping or something like that.
Okay. You talked also about security for the product, and you mentioned how it is actually built into the software. But just to give us peace of mind, can you talk a little bit more about how secure these products are?
Okay, so when it comes to security, so basically we have several things that kind of benefits the security beside what we already said. As we could explain, that we are trying to close all exposed points to outside world. Beside that, redundancy part is also doing as a prevention and the possibility to restore at some point in the past, just in case if the data are affected by any malware or graph-sake ransomware. And there's also some technological parts of the serverware, like set file system, that really fulfills idea of restoring the taken snapshots. So altogether should really push the security part of the serverware on the top level.
Okay. Now, if I have a serverware 3, can you tell me what the cost would be to upgrade?
So serverware 3 to upgrade to serverware 4.2, which is the latest version, would come free. Even if it's a major upgrade of one of our systems, we decided to have this one free, unlike the other product that we have, like PBXware, which comes at a cost. So yeah, I can confirm it's an upgrade that comes for free for our partners.
Okay, that sounds great. And if you have any earlier version of serverware, can you discuss with us what the steps are to upgrade?
Oh, it's very simple. You can basically reach out to either your account manager or directly to support our support team by opening a ticket. And our team will lead you through the process and they will take it from here. So it's just like any regular upgrade. You just contact our support team and they will proceed with the upgrade.
Okay, Yasmin was talking about the three different versions, with the mirror and the clusters. Does that mean that the serverware itself has some limitations? And if so, what are they?
Yeah, we can not say about limitations, Bruce, if I understood you well. These are pretty much solutions to really fulfill on different levels and needs what really customers want to have on their side. Since, of course, that with the bigger redundancy, the backup options and the security, also there is a bigger price, of course, but we didn't want to limit it, the customers on that. So that's why standalone edition also is there. So I think we have a nice levels to accompany really pretty much all the needs from the small businesses to much larger customers. So with the cluster, you really can put your end users, because the serverware is flexible, scalable, and it can fulfill much larger scales of complexity of infrastructure to also to fulfill multiple clusters. And as already said, with addition to geo redundancy, the customers are secured. VPS is running on the processing host are also able to be managed, and with additional alerts who will, in case that any VPS is going down as a fail or something like that, gives an option to users, to administrators to act respectively. So I believe that when we are talking about limitations, we cannot call it as a limitation, but really as a guidelines for a different purpose and the different customers, different size of customers.
Okay. All right. This is a solution that sounds like it's perfect for remote and hybrid work. I'm just wondering, can you address this as far as working remotely?
Yeah, how it benefits it. Yeah,
sure.
Well, first we are talking about the cloud solutions and virtualization as well. Since the whole point of the Bicom products from serverware and others are supporting the telephony and unified communications. How it really benefits the remote work is with our other solutions like PBXware. So for telephony and Glocom with the and Glocom meeting and with the collaboration tool. So with additional tools and products, we provide with the customers and partners to end users possibility to use these solutions, which are hosted on the cloud. We already explained a business continuity model, which don't depend on the hardware stored on the company site. So regarding work from home or work from anywhere, we are doing it every day. Today I'm in office. Yesterday I was in home using pretty much all the products we are talking about right now.
Okay, that's great. Could you talk more about some of the possible software integration options?
Okay, that is a teasing question, an interesting one. I can just say this, that in future release, in the next release even, we will introduce something that will I think, answered this question. And it will make our product serverware and customers much closer. And this is pretty much I can say about it right now.
Okay, well, it's a good segue to the next question, which is not related to 4.2 features. What can we expect in serverware for the next releases?
Yeah, that's my same. So it's the same answer here. I really believe that this will be something that will really push the customers much more closer, really, to understand the real benefits of this product. So not to see it only as a supportive function to telephony and omni communication or communication. But something even much more interesting to customers. But right now, I will just leave it, let it wait.
Okay, that's fair enough. I've got one final question for you, and Patrice, this is probably perfect for you, and it is: why should I choose Bicom Systems?
Well, I can spend, I guess, 45 minutes in explaining why you should choose Bicom Systems. But I guess one of the two main reasons to choose us in comparison to others would be, I guess, number one, our channel strategy. We don't deal with the end user. We have a very clear strategy and a sales strategy from the beginning when we started in this market. We exclusively deal with MSPs, ITSPs, and professionals. We will never be in contact with your customers at all. That's not our policy. So we dedicated all our marketing tools, our sales actions, and our organization in that direction. And again, I think that makes a difference. That's consistency would really make a difference in comparison to some other providers on the market. And the second question, I guess, is related to our product. I mean, Yasmin explained all the beauty of using serverware and all the features that are into it. Geo-redundancy, just one of them, and we are having, a great success since we launched geo-redundancy, especially in the US on the US market, which is a kind of our main market. This feature has really been asked and demanded by our partners, and since we launched it, it's really having a great success. And the other product that really make a difference is our PBXware, obviously. PBXware is one of the true multi-tenant, for the multi-tenant version, one of the true multi-tenant PBXware available on the market today. And again, that's not just a marketing statement that I'm making here. It's a true multi-tenant system that our customers really enjoy using because it's so reliable and so scalable that you can start your business pretty much from very little thing and to grow by using a single license, a single instance, and sell to up to 200 tenants as you grow again. So yeah, in a few words, our product and our sales strategy, which is very clear, would make two main reasons to choose Bicom over others.
Okay, and that did lead to another question, actually, if I may, and that with the PBXware and now this new serverware, are there overlapping features? And if so, can you kind of let us know what those are?
Well, regarding PBXware and the serverware, there are no overlapping features. There are companies, in fact, I call it as features that accompany the PBXware need. Something that it's much easier to manage via serverware. So I hope that the whole story about serverware and this idea of virtualization is really giving the answer how. So PBXware is one of the products that will be run on the VPSs, and by using the serverware, it is much easier to manage all the things that It may be some of these can be done on the PBX sphere, but and this redundancy or overlapping, even if it happened, that will just benefit of the model of business continuity for the products that will run on the VPSs. So I can just say that if there are existing any kind of overlaps, they are for purpose there to accompany the business continuity model.
Okay, great. Well, I think that's going to do it for our webinar. Our thanks to Bicom Systems, Yasmin Mazet, product owner, and Patrice Vermont, business success manager. Now, before we go, I want to remind you that by attending this webinar, you automatically are enrolled in the Channel Vision Webinar Rewards program. And you may have won one of our monthly prizes. For information on the program and to see what kind of prizes you may win, visit our website at channelvisionmag.com/webinar rewards. Also, remember that you can access this webinar and all other Channel Vision presentations on demand by visiting our website at channelvisionmag.com. And now, from all of us at Channel Vision Magazine and from our friends at Bicom Systems, thanks for attending. Have a safe and prosperous day. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.